In section 2 of module 1, we're going to review solving absolute value equations. So remember, absolute value represents the distance from 0. So when we're evaluating an absolute value, such as the absolute value of 2, if we look back at a number line, and we have our value of 2, and we want to know its distance to 0, we count how many values we have to go by to get back to 0, which in this case is 2. Now, if we look at the absolute value of -2, and we go back to 0, we again have to go 2 spaces, which is why the absolute value of -2 is also 2. So distance can never be negative. So that's why when we evaluate an absolute value, we always get a positive answer. So using this concept, we're going to solve equations. So when we think about the absolute value of x equaling 7, we're saying what value, when you take its absolute value, is a distance of 7 from 0. So as we saw up above, I could plug in 7 for x, and the absolute value of 7 is 7. But I could also plug in -7, and the absolute value of -7 is also 7, which is why absolute value equations will always have 2 solutions, because it could be a positive number or a negative number to have the same distance to 0. So we're going to use this in our second example. The absolute value of 8x plus 4 equals 28. So I could either have 28 inside the absolute value, or I could have -28 inside the absolute value. And both of those would end up giving me a positive 28. So I'm going to set up 2 equations to solve. And one of them is that 8x plus 4 equals 28, and the other is going to be that 8x plus 4 equals -28. So now I'm just solving 2 equations for x. So my first step is going to be to subtract 4, and we get 8x equals 24. Then we're going to divide by 8, and we're going to get that x equals 3. On our second equation, the steps remain the same. I'm going to subtract 4, but when I subtract 4 from -28, I'm actually going to get that 8x equals -32. And then we're going to divide both sides by 8, and we're going to get that x equals -4. So notice not every time we solve for x, we get a positive and negative value that are the same value like we did for the absolute value of x equals 7. So just because I solved the first equation and I got x equals 3 does not automatically mean that my second answer is -3. I still have to set up and solve that second equation. Our next example, we have 10 minus 6 times the absolute value of 2n plus 2 equals -86. So there's a couple key things about absolute value equations. One of them is that in order to solve an absolute value equation, it has to be isolated, which means the absolute value is the only thing that can be on the left side. So I'm going to treat the absolute value, what's inside the absolute value, as a variable, and I'm going to first isolate it. So the 10 in front, I'm going to subtract from both sides because it's technically being added. We get -6 times the absolute value of 2n plus 2 equals -96. Okay. Now we have -6 in front of the absolute value, and you cannot distribute inside an absolute value. So the next thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by -6 and get the absolute value of 2n plus 2 equals, now -96 divided by -6 is end up going to give us a positive value, which is 16. Now I can set up my 2 equations. 2n plus 2 equals 16, and 2n plus 2 equals -16. So I'm going to solve. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I'm going to get 2n equals 14. Divide by 2, and I get n equals 7. My second equation, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Get 2n equals negative 18. Then I'm going to divide by 2. And I'm going to get n equals negative 9. So again, just like the previous example, I see that I didn't get the same number, one positive, one negative. Our last example is 2 times the absolute value of x plus 1 equals negative 6. So just like the previous example, I have to isolate that absolute value first. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I'm going to end up with the absolute value of x plus 1 equals negative 3. Now I could keep solving here. I could do x plus 1 equals negative 3 and x plus 1 equals 3. But there's a problem with this equation, and that's that it's equal to a negative value. So remember what I said at the very beginning, because absolute value is a distance, it can never be equal to a negative value. And since I've isolated my absolute value, and it's equal to a negative number, and distance can't be negative, the answer here is no solution. It doesn't mean that I can't solve for x and get numbers. It's that when I get those values of x, they do not work. So I'm going to show you that real quick off to the side. If I did x plus 1 equals negative 3, and I subtracted 1, I get x equals negative 4. And I did x plus 1 equals 3, subtracted 1, and I got x equals 2. When I plug that in to check, 2 times the absolute value of negative 4 plus 1. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. The absolute value of negative 3 is 3, so I get 2 times 3, which is 6, which does not equal negative 6. If I do 2 times the absolute value of 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. I get 2 times the absolute value of 3, which becomes 2 times 3. Which is 6, which again does not equal negative 6. So I can still solve for x and get 2 solutions, it's just that they don't work. So instead of doing all of that work to see that there's no solution, we can just go back to the original absolute value that was isolated and say it's equal to a negative, there's no solution. So the very last thing here says, when does an absolute value equation have no solution? And that's when it is isolated and equal to a negative number. So notice how I added when it is isolated and equal. It's not just when it's equal to a negative number, because if that were the case, the example we did before, it was equal to negative 86. So if I just said equal to a negative number, I say, oh, well, no solution. But what we actually found out is that once we isolated the absolute value, it was no longer equal to a negative number. So it did end up having a solution. Please let me know if you have any questions over absolute value equations.